Hello, I'm going to talk about the tips for your next vacation. It is important to make a list of the places you want to visit and the date you want to visit that places. Why? Because in some countries the vacation time is different from others, and also it depends the price that you want to pay. Uh, Another thing is the climate. Sometimes it's cold and sometimes it's too hot. So it depends in what kind of climate you want to visit the place, and also the money, as I said. I know you want to visit all the places in the world, but we need to start from the most important to you to the most um, hardcore or the most difficult, but it's up to you. You decide when, how, and what. Okay. After you set up a list of the places, you need to start to make a budget of how many you can spend in every place. For example, for an hotel, transportation, if you want to go by train, by car, by airplane. Also, after you make that budget, you look for prices. You can start looking for airplanes. It is important that you don't leave the ticket airplane at the final, because if it is too close to the date you wanna travel, it's more expensive. You better look before, like 6 months before, for the travel date you set at the beginning, to get a good price. For example, here in the picture, I have a photo from August of this year. It is more expensive if you travel in August than if you travel or you buy your ticket on September. It's an example of what I'm saying. So after you look for prices, you can see other activities, also food and meals. And there are some prices that include bed and breakfast, and that is always very helpful if you don't want to spend too much. Um, After that, you can look for promos, but we're going to talk about that almost at the end of the presentation. After you set the budget and look for prices, don't forget, this is a very personal recommendation. You should look for the You should pay and look for the basic necessities. What do I mean on saying that? That, for example, it is better to pay before your travel the hotel, the transportation, the food, and the basic sleep, eat, and movie. Why? Because when you get in the place, when you arrive to the place, it is more expensive, always. It is always. And also, the people who give the service in the place, like the taxis, like the bellboys, like everybody in the place, always they see tourists and they want to give a very high price for what they need. For example, for food, maybe for food is not the case, but sometimes it is. Um, but it is better that you look for the basic for the travel. You can also Google the Maslow pyramid and look the basic necessities of the human, and you can use that information to make the budget of your trip. Another point very important here is that we recommend you to get an travel insurance. Why? Because you don't know what can happen in the future. Maybe you can lose lose the flight, maybe you lost your passport, or maybe you get sick. It is better that you get prepared or be prepared for what can happen during your travel. So some people think this is not necessary to acquire, but it is always better to have it than not to have it. Also, after you take all that recommendations, you can start searching for uh, all-inclusive packages like this. For example, this includes transportation activities, food, meal, and maybe airplanes too. Thanks for watching.